Hi, a couple years ago I made a video about NuTone IS68 entry door stations. These are used exclusively with the NuTone IK15 and IK25 entry intercom systems. And that video was about how these had been discontinued and there were no parts available for them, but we could build a replacement entry door station out of a modern NuTone entry door station, one's designed for other types of intercom systems, and by modifying them slightly we can make it work with an IK25 or an IK15. That original video, we've made a lot of replacement modified entry door stations for customers who need a replacement for their IK15 or IK25 system. However, some things have changed in the last 2 years. One, NuTone has stopped making new entry door stations, so there's a limited number of those available. And the other thing that happened recently is that we were able to come across some much needed replacement parts for the original IS68s. And with those parts, we will be able to sell and offer replacement assemblies for broken IS68. But what did we come up with? We came up with a bunch of these. These are genuine NuTone replacement speaker cones for IS68s. And these came from another NuTone service center who the owner is retiring, and we purchased all of his old inventory. And in his old inventory were a box full of these. And these are genuine NuTone replacement speaker cones just for the IS68s. He doesn't know how long he's had these. Best guess based on the markings on some of them, these are probably from the late 70s or early 80s, and we were able to come up with almost 200 of them, which is pretty unheard of because for all beliefs, none of these have been available for decades, and now there are some available. What is the speaker cone in an IS68 like? Well, it's a 2.5 inch, which is the measurement across the frame. It has 4 mounting slots here in the frame that holds it to the back of the grill. It's a paper cone, and it's a 16 ohm speaker, and these are genuine direct replacements for the original ones. What we'll probably do with these when we begin to use them is we'll be treating the front of the paper cone here with the wet look, which will help make them more waterproof, and it has UV light inhibitor, so they'll last longer, because that's generally what causes these to fail, is they weather away from being outside for a long time. A quick look at the anatomy of an IS68, and then I'll tell you what we're going to do with our new replacement speaker cones. So you have the plastic housing here, which is not available, and no, we don't have any. You have the 2.5 inch speaker cone here, 16 ohms, rated at 1 watt. You have a standard NuTone doorbell push button down here. You have the all-important 2 electrolytic capacitors that make up the circuit, so it works on 2 wires with an IK15 or an IK25, and you have a little bit of wiring that connects everything all together. So what we're going to do is to get the most use out of these, to make them the most useful that we possibly can. We know that everybody that calls, and a lot of people do call, they all need a replacement speaker cone. That's easy. And for the most part, everybody really needs a replacement push button also, because push buttons get really corroded and nasty and crunchy after being outside for 20-25 years, and that should be replaced along with the speaker so you have good operational condition. So what we're going to do is let's go ahead and disassemble this one really quick. This is an original IS68. I just dug it out of a parts box at the shop, and I don't know where it came from. It's kind of dirty and crusty, but we'll deal with that in another video. But let me show you what we're going to do to make these the most useful that they can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the screws that hold the original speaker to the back of the plastic grill. It just has 4 Phillips screws, and we'll untwist lock the button, which doesn't want to come out, so we'll get some needle nose pliers here and see if we can unlock it. This is what happens. They get really corroded and kind of stuck. There we go. So once you've done that, you can take this out of the back of the grill And we'll set that there for a second. And all that you have left here is the front half of the button. And since we're going to put a new button, we're going to remove that. And the easiest way to do that is you take your screwdriver handle and you sort of pound it out from the back so that comes off also. We'll put that over there for now. And we'll put this back together just for a minute. If it'll go together after we've twisted the life out of it, getting it apart. Doorbell buttons have a hard life. Like that. Alright, so here's the guts of an IS68. You have the speaker cone, you have the push button, you have the two capacitors, and a little bit of wire that connects it all together. So what are we going to do? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take our newly found replacement speaker cones and we're going to create a little wiring harness just like the original. We're going to wire it up to a new button just like the original, and we're going to add two capacitors just like the original. And what you'll end up with is all brand new parts in a pre-made assembly that can simply be sat down into the back of an IS68 grill, screwed in place, put the button together, and you're good to go. You've got a working station with all brand new parts, and you don't have to build it yourself. We're going to build it for you because, honestly, we're probably a little better at it than you are, especially if we're going to do a couple hundred of them. So, this was a good find. I just wanted to do a quick video about this because you never know what you're going to find. You talk to people and you look forever, and then all of a sudden one day you come up with something like these that are sought after and needed and required. And while it would have been nice if we had gotten 2,000 of them, 200 is not a bad start. So that's it. We're going to build these up and have these available shortly. It's at the end of the year now, so we won't get to this until January 2019. And when I do the build up, I'll show you how we do it. And I'll also show you how you can take your original slightly crusty with paint splatter all over it IS68 housing and how you can clean it up and make it look better, because it is on the front of your house and you probably don't want it to look all dirty and nasty. So that's it. Something new, just what we needed. Another project, because around here we never have enough projects. We always need more things to do. I hope you found this interesting and perhaps it'll be helpful to you. If it is, please give it a big thumbs up on YouTube because that always helps. There'll be a banner right here that shows you how to subscribe. Go to our YouTube homepage, click on the bell or on the wheel, put in your email address, and every time we post a new video, you'll get a notification and you can watch it. That's all for today. See you on the next video.